Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Bradley Peterson, another administrative assistant here, and today we're going to be going over how to handle and sort incoming mail and annotated mail scripts. Um, so, handling and sorting incoming mail is no easy feat and varies depending on the size of the company. Many of us may understand how this process works for sending and receiving mail, but as administrative professionals at our company, it is our responsibility to receive and process mail, regardless of which branch you're at. And if this isn't done correctly, it can greatly interfere with the flow and process of our business. But with this presentation, I hope it aids in ensuring that we all can correctly and efficiently handle and sort incoming mail in a manner that will continually improve the value of our company. But before we get into the steps and processes needed to accomplish this, let me first introduce you to a friend of mine, Buddy the Elf, um, who will show us what improper training and knowledge about handling and sorting mail looks like. Um, yeah, so if you go ahead and click on the link or post it into another tab, I'll continue after you watch that. So, as you probably noticed, Buddy wasn't the most effective and efficient at his job. He didn't know the steps to the process, but that won't be us. Following this are going to be the steps to successfully completing this process. So let us begin by covering the first step of the handling and sorting incoming mail and annotated mail scripts. The first step to this process is the preliminary sort of mail. During this stage of the process, we are tasked with sorting the mail according to the addressee. Tools that might make this easier are alphabetical sorters, kind of cubbies, or things that are labeled, allowing you to sort items easier. So once this step is complete, once this stage in this step is complete, the next stage is stacking the mail. So this may seem unnecessary, but it ensures that the most important items are addressed first by the intended recipient. The order of this can be seen on the screen, but you want to try to remember to have the personal and confidential items on top because they are the most important, followed by special delivery, registered mail, or certified mail. Regular business mail from customers, clients, suppliers follows that. Interoffice communication is next with advertisements and circulars. After that, and finally, newspapers and magazines and catalogs on the bottom of the stack. So, that is the preliminary sort step, and now we'll move on to the next step of the process. The next step of the process is the opening mail. So during this stage, it is important for you to have all the tools and materials that you think you might need to accomplish this task. It'll help increase efficiency and ensure that you get it done in a timely manner. Some things that you might need are a letter opener, a stapler, paper clips, tape, or anything else you think that you might need to accomplish the task. So once you've gathered all the materials that you think you'll need to accomplish this task, you'll begin opening the letters. But there's a few things to remember um, during the process. You want to keep all the envelopes for at least one day, and make sure to keep them in the order that they were opened, which would allow for easier reference if you might need them later in the day. Um, Also, another thing to remember is if you accidentally open like a letter, a confidential letter, or a personal letter by accident, make sure to seal it up with some tape. Don't pull the letter out, and write on it "open by mistakes" and initial it so the individual knows that this occurred where and how to track that down. Another useful tip to do during the opening stage is date stamping. So date stamping allows you to record when the mail was received, which will help in making further decisions. If, for instance, you were asked to attend something, but the letter wasn't received until after the date of the event. So yeah, it helps with managing and corresponding in that regards and tracking information. Um, yeah, so if you follow these components of the opening mail stage, yeah, you will ensure that mail is opened and recorded correctly, which allows for us to progress to the next step, and that is the reviewing of mail. So the reviewing of mail stage is very important. So this is where we help the business executives with managing the large amount of mail that goes across their desks. So as an administrative assistant, it is our job to review the incoming mail for our executive at whichever branch we're at. Some of the things that this process might include is reading the correspondence, underlining and highlighting important words and phrases, making notes regarding missing information, checking the computation of bills, indicating any discrepancies in correspondence through a note, attaching references to previous pieces of correspondence that are referenced in the most recent one, and checking for any calculations or dates that appear on the correspondence. Although you need to consider that each of these vary with the executives at each branch. So for you, the next step you should take is to follow up with them and see how you can better review their mail to speed up their process and reduce their work. So with that, this brings us to the last stage or last step of the process, which is presenting the mail. So during this step, we deliver the mail, but there are a few key components that we need to address before we can do this. So this contains, the last thing we need to address is the final sort. So during which this is your final sort, in which you sort the mail from most important items needed on the top. So for instance, those that need immediate action, you want to make sure those are going to be on top. Routine correspondences will be following, and then any informational mail or anything like that will be below those. So that is one component of this step, and then the other one is delivering the mail. So during which it varies depending on your branch and where you're at, but some of us might deliver mail once a day, while others might be delivering it twice a day or more, depending on how frequently you're receiving the mail and what your executive says or wishes or requires. So, yeah. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much the steps on how to effectively um, handle and sort incoming mail and annotated mail scripts. Um, yeah, I feel like if you follow those, you will be better prepared and equipped to successfully meet the needs of our executives at all our branches, and it'll also allow us to not fall into the roles that Buddy the elf led us to believe that happens in the mailroom. So, thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, please get a hold of me. Thanks. Bye.